Who am I? Basically, I was a former Army sergeant in the U.S. Army for about 7.5 years. I worked on Blackhawks as a helicopter mechanic and a crew chief. When I first initially went in, I had no money for college. I had poor future outlook because I had no money for college and working a dead end job. I wanted to do cool stuff, and after I went in the military, scored a pretty decent grade on my ASVAB. I got to do cool stuff, and yeah, that is me at the bottom right. So I was just like you. Basically, I was stressing about how I want to pass this test. I know that if I don't get a good grade, it's going to go down from there. I'll be basically not getting a choice of what kind of jobs that I want to do, and back into the rat race. So the military was the best option for me because I wanted to be able to work on something technical. So I needed some advice about getting the ASVAB completely knocked out of the park. I had a good recruiter at the time, but to be honest, but those guys are few and far between. There's some good ones out there. It's just they actually have quotas and things like that. They got to be concerned about. And sometimes they just do what they got to do to get you in. So I will make some recommendations to help guide you along the way from a guy who's been there, done that, been in the military for quite some time, instead of a new guy who just passed the ASVAB or some hot looking chick on here thinking that they know how to pass that stuff. And then you get to go do some cool stuff. So the ASVAB in general is a Common Core test. People like to say it's a common sense test. I disagree with that. If you weren't given the right tools to learn a lot of these things, then it's not common sense. It's mostly things you learn from school. However, some schools are different. Now they're testing everybody instead of actually practicing practical items to get you to learn how to do stuff. Even the military branch requires different. I'm sorry, every military branch requires different scores. So you do poor on those scores, you get a lower skill position like a cook or infantry guy. Nothing against those people, but if you don't want to do that, you may be bottlenecked into that if you get a low score. If you want to be a radiologist or X-ray technician or Blackhawk mechanic, avionics, a satellite repair guy, you won't be able to get those things if you have a low score. So you do good, you can get cool stuff. So the topics included are general science, arithmetic, reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, mathematics knowledge, electronics information, automotive shop information, mechanical comprehension, assembling objects, and verbal expression. So basically how you are educated as a well-rounded person. And the more educated you are, the better you'll probably be. So the time allotted, from what I was told, is 3 hours. It may have been up and down from there, but that's up to you. So best advice I have for people going to take the ASVAB: luck favors the prepared. That goes with pretty much anything that the military teaches you. However, if the more prepared you are to walk in there, you'll do fine. So there are many free sites to help out. Use Google. Be careful sometimes because they may be old, but they are out there. Military.com is a pretty good website for just general items. So a more robust program is a link that's at the bottom of the description there. It costs a few dollars, but it may be a pretty good little setup for you to try to figure out the best way to do it. Plus, what it does, it compartmentalizes the experience of studying instead of you having to go through and try to find and search for things like that. So basically, what I'm going to do is provide you the ability to go look at that. This is what I recommend. So I prefer the more robust program. So a long-term benefit of a high ASVAB score will be seen, which basically translates into get a better job, get out of the military, you do well. Both options are there, but if you can, prepare yourself properly. So last note, don't screw up. You got to eat right. Your brain works better with better food. Stay hydrated. Your brain works better with water. Get some sleep. Your brain works better with sleep. And if you fail, get up. The military expects you to fail, and they want you to get back up and go at it again. That's just how they are. Check out all the resources below for help again. So next, we'll go call your mom and see how she's doing. You a-hole. A lot of people don't do that. You need to go call your mama. That's the reason why she's here. That's the reason why you're here. And subscribe to my channel and leave a success story when you get a good score. If you guys do this or go through the notes, I want you to come back and please comment on how well you did. I always like to see success stories. So thank you and good luck.